These gas pistols are designed using a lot of patented elements, for example double frame, a double barrel, a double trigger and more. The caliber of both models is 6 mm. The double magazine holds 15 rounds of ammunition, 25 on each side. The only difference between the double-barrel Glock 17 and 18C is that the first gun fires only in semi-automatic mode. The second gun can be switched to fully automatic mode as well. Drone Defender statistics show that the number of drones worldwide has more than tripled in the last 5 or 6 years. This applies to the use of both industrial and amateur drones. Among some people are having fun recording useful views with their drone. Others are trying to figure out how not to let these drones in places where they should not fly. Peak Vision is a Chinese company that manufactures and sells a variety of surveillance equipment. IT specialists have come up with a way to safely remove a train from an unwanted zone for at least forces around. The product comes in 2 models. The first device is operating manually. You have to take it in your hands, turn it on and then aim at the drone flying nearby. It's noteworthy that there are 2 modes of operation. In the first mode, that device suppresses the signal coming from the operator's remote control. Almost all modern drones behave similarly in this situation. They would turn to the starting point using GPS coordinates. This is how the drone leaves the unwanted zone. In the second mode, not only the signal from the remote control is silenced, but also the satellite signal. In that case, the drone is just forced to land. The operating principle of a second model is the same. The only difference is that it doesn't need a person to work. The system detects the drone itself, and then forces it to land or go back to its creation. Is created to try and defend it, to effectively protect athletes' preseason sports event arenas, and other places where drones are not allowed. Tracking point rifles. In 2012, the precision-guided firearms system was introduced to the world for the first time, and expectations were high. Specialists of the American company Tracking Points managed to create a smart, aiming system, which potentially should have taken weapons to a whole new level. And indeed, a few years later, a small arms complex created on the basis of this innovative system was shut down. A rifle was smart and can be ordered by anyone with a corresponding promise. However, it will cost at least $7,000. Nevertheless, this price is more than justified. Among amateurs, bangs and homes are considered controversial. Some invisible PGF rifles are cheaters. That's because the system is very complex. By the way, that's why it's so expensive. Amazing length. The system itself determines the position of the target and distance. To do it in an extremely precise way, calculation of corrections required for error-free shooting is done automatically. The system includes 2 video cameras with a set of specialized filters. Laser ranging device screen and census building computer manages to collect information about the surrounding conditions, such as the speed and direction of temperature and pressure. Photoshoots needs to do is point the weapon of its target's requirements, get corrections from the system and then pull the trigger. It's almost impossible to miss our videos. Multi-purpose equipment transport and held by the U.S. Army. A few years ago, the participants had to develop and begin supplying ground robots suitable for transporting weapons, ammunition, provisions and equipment. General Dynamics Land Systems presented the W motto, "We will face robot experts," who loved it. The name stands for Weaponized Multi-Utility Tactical Transport. The robot shown meets all the requirements. It has a payload of 544 kilograms, the ability to work 72 hours continuously, and to cover 96 kilometers for the full time. In addition, the vehicle is capable of operating in 2 modes. It either moves reacting to commands from the control panel and operator moves independently behind the soldiers of its division. Under the terms of the agreement, the manufacturing company will provide the U.S. Army with 624 robots, training and maintenance equipment, according to the plan. The full order will be received by the end of 2024. Massey is expected to relieve fighters from the extra load and increase their productivity as they no longer have to carry heavy loads on their backs. Call the shots. People whose work involves protecting the law and using weapons are well aware that the most dangerous situations arise when the enemy is around the corner. While trying to take a look and assess the situation, the officer becomes an easy target. The first weapon with a bent barrel that allows you to shoot from around the corner, a painting the early 20th century. And of course, 100 years later, it looks quite different. This is corner shot, a weapon invented by the Israeli inventor. He's a lieutenant colonel in the Israeli army, so he knows more than anyone how important security is. Aldershot is made up of two paths that form a 63-degree angle. The turning pass has a gun and a video camera. You can also attach a gun side, a silencer or flame arrested, who is on the other parts which the person holds in their hands. There's a power supply unit, and most importantly, a display that transmits color images from the camera. The weapon can be rotated so the shooter can look not only around the corner, but also, for example, down, up from moving. We have to admit that it's not easy to be fully protected in today's world. Anything can happen at any time, and even places that are safe at first sight can easily become a death trap. It is not possible to carry weapons for self-defense anywhere and anytime, largely because they're bulky in size. That's why the Minikin Lifeguard was created. It was developed by the American company Trailblazer Firearms, is one of the smallest personal weapons in the world. When folded, the pistol is a simple rectangular box that looks like a regular business accessory. It's no larger than a business card storage box. This makes the Lifeguard a gun that's not suspicious and fits even in your jeans. In some countries, citizens have the right to possess and carry weapons. Obviously, this can lead to some problems. You can't always keep your weapons with you. And this means that it can fall into the hands of others and cause harm. Fortunately today, more and more guns are equipped with smart technology. The first weapon of this kind of period of our 50 years ago, it was a revolver with a magnet in its grip. It could only be fired when it was in the hands of the owner with the magnetic rings. Since then, technology has advanced a lot. A variety of companies are working on smart pistols. For example, there are guns that required PIN code from the user, both digital and tactile. There are crystals, built-in recognition systems, they can only be fired by people wearing a special bracelet. And finally, there are guns that use optical sensors.